Gang, we are in the building. I am back. The Swag Academy is back on your YouTube screen. Swaggy C is here, also behind the camera. We are in the building. I appreciate you guys for tuning back in. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Swaggy C. Make sure you go down and subscribe below so you can be notified when a video like this drops. And most importantly, you can be a part of the family, the community. We are one big happy, not mad, one big happy family. And it'll mean a lot to me if you could join the community. Also, if you find any value in this video by the end of it, please give it a thumbs up. Or you could be nice and give it a thumbs up right now, because I got a whole lot of value on my channel, and just off GP, might as well give it a thumbs up right now, and I appreciate that so much. As far as announcements, we are extending the Black Friday sale all the way up until New Year's. You know, we wanted to give you guys, a Black Friday Thanksgiving present, and now we give you guys a Christmas, New Year's Eve, New Year's, whatever you want to call it, present as well. So enjoy, tell your friends, tell your family, an extra 31 more days, and then it expires. But most importantly, live trading is active in the Academy right this second. That means you guys have been wanting to see me trade live, see my lot sizes, see my psychology behind it all. You guys get to see it in the Academy. It's officially launched inside for members only, and I'm excited to share everything with you guys. What you should know is obviously, your trades are your own responsibility, so your wins, your losses are up to you, and it's not my responsibility. But you guys will be able to see my literally exact trades, like period, just like that, and all the webinars, the market breakdowns, everything that comes with it should be lit. Other than that, also, is there any more announcements?
I think that's it.
Let's get to the video. Roll the intro. All right, guys, books that day traders absolutely need to read. I get so many, emails, and even people in my academy ask me, Swaggy, what book should I read? Now, to be quite honest with you, I've read more, motivational and business and entrepreneur books than, Forex related books. I haven't really read much in my 5-6 years of trading in the market. I've actually experienced more off of TradingView and demo accounts and live accounts and losses and wins than actually reading a book. But that does not, take away the idea that books are helpful, because there are a few books that I have read that have been, very vital to my career. And this is not in any particular order, but I'm gonna give you about, 5 or 6, Forex, related books, and about 4 entrepreneur-based books that, really can help your mindset and help you, because I feel like all day traders and investors should, have this in their brain and their knowledge. Number 1, Naked Forex. This is, or it was, one of my favorite books. I think I read this in 2015 when I was in college. I have a picture of Naked Forex on my college dorm, which is crazy. And this is basically for naked traders. If you don't know what a naked trader is, it's basically a trader who doesn't trade, with indicators. And it gives examples on why you really shouldn't use indicators. Now, for me, I'm more of a naked trader. The only indicator I use is a moving average. But other than that, this book was very, very helpful. This book talks mainly about, techniques and strategies and market patterns to look for. And when you see this is when you should enter. So if you're struggling with your entries and your exits, this is probably the book for you. If you are a heavy indicator person, who likes the, RSI and Bollinger Bands and MACD, divergence, and, you like the harmonic scanner that I Am Academy preaches, then this book is not for you. But if you're somebody with an open brain, and you like trading without indicators and keeping a clean chart, which is what I, do, obviously, this book is amazing. Number 2, 3 and 4 actually, which are one and the same, because that book, Naked Forex, focuses on entries and exits and more so strategies. This book, or these books, focus purely on your psychology, your emotions, and everything in your brain. It is Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas, The Disciplined Trader by Mark Douglas, and The Forex Mindset by Jared Martinez. And the reason I batched all these up together is because they all focus on psychology. Like I said with Naked Forex, it focuses strictly on techniques. And there's not a lot of technique books out there that I would, I can back and say these are dope, because I've, watched more YouTube videos and took more courses on techniques than sitting down reading a book. But reading a book on psychology, yeah, I do that all the time. And I found a lot of value in these 3 books because with Naked Forex, you may read that 1 or 2 times, but remember what I said in my last video. Technical analysis essentially doesn't change. It's the same thing over and over again. There's no new indicator on the block. There's no new nothing. Support and resistance is the same. Whereas, you know, your psychology, you will constantly work on your psychology over and over again. Like, you don't just get over greed in a day. You don't just stop revenge trading or not experiencing FOMO in a day. Like, it all plays a part. 2 years in, 3 years in, you get better and better. And then you read this and it's like, damn, like, okay, that's right. I did do this yesterday. I got to be better. And you will be better. Now, the disciplined trader and trading in the zone, since they're by the same author, they're actually kind of one and the same. I read both of them, but I found a lot more value in trading in the zone. Or maybe I just like the book more. But it's essentially the same material, you know, like I said, by Mark Douglas, just different titles. Discipline, trading in the zone, they're basically the exact same thing. So if you wanted to buy, you know, 2 of them, I would suggest trading in the zone and the Forex mindset. I just bought the Discipline Trader because I thought it would be a little different. It was kind of the same as trading in the zone. And I have a big library over there, so I just like having extra books. But these 2 books will do the trick for you in terms of psychology, trading in the zone and the Forex mindset. It really helped me a lot, you know, get to where I am now. So that's 2, 3, and 4. Number 5, Market Wizards. This book was surprisingly amazing to me. So it doesn't really talk about entries and exits. It talks a little bit about psychology, but it's more so interviews with the top traders in the world, quote unquote, all time, if that makes sense. So it's basically a Q&A book. There's no, you know, it's not a person just writing like a whole, you know, just like in there, just a whole descriptions, page by page, chapter by chapter. It's basically just a Q&A with a bunch of people. As you can see, you know, the question is in bold and the answer is regular font. And there's a few different traders in here that talk about, you know, how they made a lot of money in the market, whether it's the stock market or the currency market or futures, no matter what it is. Just seeing how they respond to certain things and how they approach the market, you know, went a long way with my trading, and I think it could go a long way with your trading. So don't sleep on this book because there's a lot of pages. I think this book is bigger than, you know, Trading in the Zone, the Naked Forex, and all the other books. You know, it's about 450 pages in here. But like I said, it's a pure Q&A, and you can look at these top traders and see how, you know, they answer certain questions. Why'd you enter, you know, this? Why'd you invest in this, you know, company? And, you know, what is your approach to being robotic in the market? Are you emotional? Do you get scared when you place a lot of money, or when you lose a lot of money and you over risk? Are you nervous that you just lost everything? Like, there's so many good questions in here from top traders who, you know, went through that experience, but now they're 30 years in. And mind you, I'm still 5, 6 years in, and you guys are learning from me. You know, these are people who are in it for, you know, 20, 30, 40 years at this point, and they're a little bit older, and they have a lot of wisdom. So I definitely would recommend this book as well. Now, those are the 5 Forex books that I've actually sat down and read. I have not read a single other book. I think I read one more book. It's like 10 Essentials to a Forex Trader by Jared Martinez as well, which is similar to Naked Forex, where it talks about strategies and techniques, but I don't have that with me. I think I gave it to one of my friends a while ago. But these are the only 5 books that I have read, you know, period. That's it. Nothing else, nothing more. I've done a lot more trial and error than just purely reading books. Now, people get it confused too because they're always looking for a stock market book or a Forex book to read when you should be reading, you know, a lot of business books as well. You guys gotta realize when you're in the financial industry, you guys are going to come across a lot of money, lose, you know, a lot of money, or, you know, come across a moderate amount where it's like, you know, good to live off your own and quit your job or just a hobby. Whatever it may be, you need to be financially apt to learning how to take care of your money. And these 4 books are probably my favorite books. Actually, there's one more book over there that I'm gonna have Austin grab for me that I actually will start out for. It's the 10X Rule. I don't know why I didn't have this over here in general. So Austin's getting up to go get it. I'm gonna explain why that book is good. Some of you guys have already read it, but I will get to that. Oh, he got it right there. Perfect, 10X Rule. So, you already read it too? Yeah. My man. So, the 10X Rule is one of my favorite, you know, motivational books. I know how people, you know, have their own perception about Grant Cardone and who he is, whatever the case may be, but It doesn't change the fact that this book is amazing. I've learned a lot from Grant Cardone from reading this book, and all this book basically does is motivate you to, have bigger goals and work harder than what you're working right now, which goes hand in hand with Forex, because when you get tired of studying, when you get tired of looking at the market and losing, a book like this will keep you in shape and keep you up to date and feel like, all right, I got to do more, I got to keep going, never quit. And this is one of my favorite motivational books. If I feel like I'm getting, complacent and stagnant with, life, that's a motto. So the guy who does my thumbnails, he just sent me the thumbnail for this YouTube video. He just hit me, so it's gonna be a good one as well. But no, this is a book where it's like, if I feel like I'm not doing enough, I'll literally read a few chapters in this book, my favorite ones, and I'll get up, off my butt and start grinding. But to really start in chronological order in terms of money and being financially apt, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Obvious. This is the obvious #1 business book that everybody needs to read. This is actually the start of my actual, I think, investing journey. I think I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad before I even knew what Forex was. I learned about this to get, better in business and better with money. And then reading this book from coming from, a Ty Lopez ad, caused me to look at something else and then something else. And then I found Forex through that something else. But like I said, #1 personal finance book of all time, I actually would agree. But the thing with Rich Dad, Poor Dad is the first half of the book is so amazing. First of all, the entire book is amazing, but for new readers, the first half is the only benefit you're gonna get of this book, because the last half talks about real estate investing and tax codes and all of that stuff, like legal loopholes. And I don't really think that benefits you guys right now, because I remember when I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad in 2015, I read the entire book, and the first half was so amazing, and the last half I was so confused on, because like I said, my brain wasn't mature at that time in terms of understanding the material. And then I reread it again, I think last year, and I understood every single thing the book said, literally, like top to bottom, everything about real estate investing and taxes and everything. But if you're just somebody who's just trying to get better with business, the first half of the book with the story of Mike and Robert and the Rich Dad and Poor Dad, just reading that story before you get to all the liability and all that extra stuff with taxes in the back could be very beneficial to you as well. So I did say this is the personal finance book, I guess #1 of all time. It says it right here, the sticker. But my personal favorite book ever, period, ever, The Richest Man in Babylon. This is actually the greatest money book I've ever read in my life. I would say to read Rich Dad, Poor Dad before you read this, because Rich Dad, Poor Dad is like a basic foundation of anybody who just wants to get better with money but doesn't know a single thing. Whereas The Richest Man in Babylon has a lot of big words and a lot of stories and parables and stuff that you may not understand just yet, but this is the greatest money book I've ever read in my life. It's my favorite one. I just read it again yesterday, like the entire book. And when I mean the entire book is, when I read the entire book for the first time, I will highlight everything in the book or my most important parts. And then when I reread the book, I'll just reread the highlighted parts over and over again. This book is sickening. And like I said, it helps you go with the Forex market or in the stock market, anything in general, because you have to know what to do with your money. It talks about, keeping, a certain amount, putting it away over and over again, how you could be in a classroom with your friends in middle school and high school, and then you grow to be this multi-millionaire success story, and they are still, working for minimum wage, and they're asking, Arcad, the guy who became, obviously the richest person in Babylon, how'd you get here when just 20 years ago, you were just like us? And he basically tells a lot of stories on what you should do with your money and what you shouldn't do. Like, don't trust anybody who is promising you, big investments and big returns with your money. They have a clear objective and agenda in mind. Like, there's a lot of strategies in that book that could benefit you as a trader, because when you come across this money, you're gonna need to know what to do with it. And I can't talk, enough about The Richest Man in Babylon. Favorite book of all time. The 10 Pillars of Wealth. So this is actually, I think, a top 5 book I've ever read as well. Like I said, I've read more business books than, Forex related books, and the business books have helped me, retain the money that I've been making and knowing what to do with it. Because you gotta realize, when you're in the Forex market, you're not working somewhere else where you just get a check every few weeks. You're in the Forex market. You make money today, you lose money today, period. So you gotta know what to do when that influx of money is coming in or coming out, depending on if you lose it. And the 10 Pillars of Wealth talks a lot about, societal norms, and he kind of debunks everything. Similar to my 9 to 5 video yesterday, this book actually inspired it. Shout out to Alex Becker. He did a great job talking about, it's similar to the 10X rule where it motivates you, and but it also teaches you strategy. So I would consider the 10 Pillars of Wealth on par with the 10X rule and Rich Dad Poor Dad, because the 10 Pillars of Wealth motivates you like the 10X rule, but it also gives you, stories and stuff like Rich Dad Poor Dad. The Richest Man in Babylon is in a lane of its own. I can't compare it to nothing. It's my favorite book ever. It's literally, it goes with me everywhere. I love it. But the overall last book that I would say for you guys, this is not one of my favorites, but it's a good book that I read that helped a lot. It's The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey, only because he's very, he's smart with his money. He knows that if you come across, a lot of money or a decent amount of money, don't just spend it on things you want. You got to put certain money away. You got to pay off your debt. You got to live this certain lifestyle. Like, Dave Ramsey is a frugal guy, but he knows what he's doing in terms of getting people who are out of debt. And again, a lot of people who come into the Forex market are trying to pay off a debt, a lot of debt, whether student loan debt, credit card debt, and then move on into their real life goals. And I think this guy, with his strategies in here, talking about, how to, the debt snowball effect, when you read this book, it helps you get out of debt a lot faster, utilizing the Forex market, the stock market, and your 9 to 5 or freelancing job in general. This is not one of my favorite books, but it's a good book to read nonetheless in terms of business. Like, regardless, I can't say enough about, this book in general. It's just not better than The Richest Man in Babylon, Rich Dad Poor Dad, 10 Pillars of Wealth, or the 10X Rule, but I have utilized this book. Overall, those are I think I did 9. This book I have not read at all, so I'm not gonna talk about it too much, but I've heard this is Warren Buffett's, favorite book ever. He said it's the best book on investing ever written. And these are all trader and business related books. This is investing, and obviously day trading and investing are two different things. But I'm excited to read this book. So if anybody's read The Intelligent Investor out there, let me know how you like it, because I am going to start reading it. I've never read it before a day in my life. It is 600 pages. Jeez. Okay, Austin, that's a little scary. That's a lot, but I love reading, so I'm gonna get on this. But as far as the other book that's mandatory for day traders to read, those first 5, Forex related books, because those are the only Forex books I've ever read. And these 4, it's actually 5. The 10X rule made it 10 and 10, or 5 and 5. So these 5 in terms of business, Richest Man in Babylon, 10 Pillars of Wealth, Rich Dad Poor Dad, 10X Rule, and Total Money Makeover, it'll rewire your brain to not think, how society thinks, and think more so on how the world today should be and how you should live your life, and not, wake up, go to my 9 to 5, come home, go to sleep, and do nothing. This will actually motivate you to aspire more in life. So I hope that video helped you guys out a lot. It's a different kind of feel than the videos that I usually do, but I feel like this could benefit you a lot, because I've been getting a lot of DMs and emails from my members and people who just support me on YouTube saying, hey, what books do you read? Because I have a whole library over there. But if I had to choose 10 for a day trader to read, it would be 5 of these Forex, related books, and 5 of these business related books. I have a lot more books over there, but that's not really necessary or needed right now. Like I said, I have a lot more favorite books over there, but like Success Principles, Tool of Titans, the 4-Hour Work Week, stuff like that, but I don't think that really applies to you guys. I think these 10 books directly applies to you guys. And if you need to figure out where they are, look in the links below the description. I've linked every single book, so all you gotta do is go down to the link, click it, and then purchase it off Amazon. But other than that, I hope you guys found value in that video. Make sure you subscribe and like the video if you find value in it. I appreciate you guys. Remember, the $500 Blueprint course sale is extended up until New Year's, and live trading is active in the Academy. Other than that, I will see you guys later. Appreciate you guys.